Today's top story. There's labor unrest in Brooks, Alberta. Talks between Lakeside meat packers and union workers has broken down.
Lakeside management is coming back to you.
Brooks is the quintessential Canadian prairie town, nestled in vast farmlands. For generations, people have lived a simple life of family, church, and work in the land. Many still do. In Brooks, there's an appreciation for how things remain the same. Change hasn't come easily to this insulated Bible Belt community. But a decade ago, change did come to Brooks, Alberta, rapidly and radically. Attracted by an abundance of jobs at Lakeside Packers, waves of new immigrants started to arrive, bringing with them change that would challenge the community. This is the story of that change.
When I come from Africa, I come here for a better life. I don't come here for war. I ran for war to come in better life in Canada. I born in southern Sudan. The country has political war between north and south, and the life is really terrible. Yeah, I married when I was in southern Sudan. I came here with my 2 daughters and my wife plus myself. So we came together. I'm proud to be Canadian. I'm Canadian, of course. But I don't be, to be afraid to fight for my right.
It's interesting, if you take a look at Brooks on a map, we're in the southeastern corner of Alberta, and what I'll tell you about Brooks is that if you come to Brooks, you probably aren't coming to Alberta in the sense that you will see a typical community that you'd expect in Alberta. Anyone who studied any sort of immigration statistics or labor force statistics will recognize that most new jobs in the next few decades are going to have to come from immigrants. We're just not producing enough babies ourselves, so the indigenous population. If we're going to continue to be prosperous in Alberta as well as the rest of Canada, we're going to have to get more immigrants into our community. And I sort of hope, and I think we're doing all right, hope that Brooks perhaps can be a model for the rest of Canada on how you do that.
Je suis originaire de la République démocratique du Congo. Je suis arrivé au Canada il y a de cela 3 ans. C'est pas facile. Par exemple, c'est vraiment pénible pour moi parce que je vais vous dire que, par exemple, j'ai mon dernier fils qui est né 1 année après mon départ, qui a maintenant 2 ans, que je ne connais pas. C'est enfin en train de grandir sans l'affection paternelle. Je crois que ce n'est pas... C'est pas facile, c'est pas une situation confortable.
In 1995, Lakeside Packers began actively recruiting immigrants to work at their massive Brooks slaughterhouse. seizing the opportunity to employ a workforce desperate to escape conditions in their homelands and grateful for any opportunity to earn money in Canada. So year after year, new immigrants flock to Brooks to take advantage of the relatively high pay for unskilled labor positions at Lakeside. As a result, by 2005, over half of the workers at Lakeside were immigrants or refugees.
They want to pay off their transportation loan and make enough money to sponsor their families that are still in not so great conditions back home. So we have a good employer that pays a very good rate and full-time with the option of overtime. So that's one of the reasons that they come here.
Lakeside Packers slaughters about 40% of all of Canada's cattle. It is one of the largest slaughterhouses in the world. We have, the city of Brooks has 13,000 people, of which 2,400 work at Lakeside Packers. As much as it's a cultural shock for newcomers to come to our community, it's equally a cultural shock for those that have lived in our community. I mean, we're basically a Caucasian community, and before 1995, and whether it was a pleasant shock or an unpleasant shock, it certainly was a shock.
I was born in Somalia. I grew up mostly in many different places, such as Kenya, South Africa, and in Canada. Lakeside just hire people. It doesn't matter where you're from, if you speak the language, not. If you're able to do the job, you just in. Just do the job, take your knife, or if they show you how to package the meat.
You're coming from overseas, from Asia, from South America, from Africa. They don't ask you for experience. They don't ask you for English. Just as long as you talk by your hand, and then you have a physical body strong, they put you there.
With a population of only 13,000 people, the arrival of a few thousand immigrants of different races and creeds from all corners of the world dramatically changed the face of this conservative town.
One of the expressions I've liked to use is that you can see the world without leaving Brooks. We have some 90 languages spoken in Brooks, Alberta. It's something that didn't exist 10 years ago in Brooks, and it's something that makes us very unique. You will not find another community with this sort of ethnic distribution anywhere else in Alberta. And as a matter of fact, on a percentage basis, I would challenge even Vancouver and Toronto to have that much diversity.
My tribe in southern Sudan, they survive in their life. They believe in cattle. They have a lot of cows. If you don't have cows, then you never marry. Unless you have a cow, that's where they keep their life for cow.
Lakeside kills and packages up to 2,000 cattle every day. The work is physically demanding, and Tyson Foods, the American owners of Lakeside Packers, has often been accused of getting away with unfair or unsafe labor practices. This has created tensions within the plant, primarily among immigrants who generally hold the toughest posts on the kill floor of the plant.
It's such a melting pot. People from Newfoundland to Sudan, to Nigeria, to Ethiopia, to Vancouver. As much as they talk about Brooks being a redneck town and what have you, race is not an issue of work here. This company, in the past, has treated all workers badly. It didn't matter whether you're from Newfoundland or whether you're from Ethiopia. They treated you like shit.
The Lakeside management, they have a trailers. When you're coming right away and you go direct to Lakeside, they hire you and they give you rooms and they give you a ticket for food. When they call you for interview, they call you there in slaughter. Then I looked at people in slaughter, all their body was blood and stinky and everything.
J'ai déjà 2 ans. 2 ans de travail. On nous apprend qu'au départ, c'est tout à fait normal qu'on sente un peu de douleur, mais avec le temps, bon, on finit par s'habituer. Donc, pour certaines personnes, ce temps vraiment d'adaptation peut prendre 3 mois, 4, à d'autres, ça peut aller jusqu'à 6 mois.
Right now, the workers here are a voice in the wilderness, but if we're able to have a union here, socially, we're going to be able to do so much more. You know, we see Brooks as just being a really great area to build on and to make life better for everyone.
The United Food and Commercial Workers Union Local 401 faces an uphill battle against Lakeside Packers and its giant parent company, Tyson Foods. But this is not a David and Goliath tale. The UFCW is an enormous union. They have money and they know how to spend it. For many of the immigrants working at Lakeside, the UFCW's well-tested campaign of dignity and respect is much more than a slogan. It's a call to action that resonates deeply within them.
I moved in Brooks on Friday, and Saturday morning the union just knocked our house, and I was the one who get the response to the door. I'm like, okay, can I help you? And he's like, I'm from the union, UFCW, Local 401. I'm like, okay, come on in.
Oh, who heard you saying that?
He gave me the membership before I even get hired in Lakeside.
Go look at their history. They're the fastest growing union in North America, and guess what formula they've come up with to become the fastest growing? You move in, you target the immigrants that don't know what you're saying and are easy to rile. These people come to this country with 2 things, their dignity, you know, and their loyalty to the people. You tell them that somebody's taken those 2 things away from them and they're on your side like this.
For years, the UFCW has continually pressed Lakeside to improve working conditions, but the cries fell on the deaf ear of management, secure in the assumption that a grateful for their paycheck workforce would be a mute workforce. So in 2005, UFCW decided to play hardball. They knocked on doors and signed up new recruits. With power in numbers, the union could then threaten to pull its members out of the plant unless the company agreed to negotiate for a collective agreement. A strike would cut Lakeside's workforce almost in half. One half walking the picket line, the other half crossing it.
When you get injured, maybe you break your arm or you broke your shoulder, they fire you without what we call compensation. Company don't like compensation. Some people, when the car fall on you, then you get accident, you are fired, or machine cut your hand, or forklift, you know, crush your hand. Then I see these people, they are fired, and they crying. They say, we don't care about you. We care about money, money, money.
On October 17, 2005, the critical mass of card-carrying union members decides to strike at Lakeside. The move creates a tension you could cut with a knife between UFCW strikers and non-union employees. Some workers, content with the status quo in the non-union plant, express little or no interest in seeing Lakeside become a unionized workplace.
I work for Lakeside Packers, and all I want to do is go in there and work. What's wrong with that?
What they're striking for, I don't think there's, you know, they say they're not treated well. Well, I've been there 13 years and I've been treated well.
At Lakeside, pink slips and departures due to work-related injuries are common, and the union has collected stacks of grievances against the company. Despite the recruitment of members within Lakeside, the UFCW still needs to negotiate a first collective agreement with Tyson Foods' Lakeside plant before they can demand changes inside the plant.
We have no color on this picket line. All we are is picketers working, trying to take on a big corporation that doesn't really care about its workers, and we're together.
The vocal minority of union members is willing to disrupt the status quo for greater job security and better working conditions.
A lot of these immigrants that come here came from very terrible situations. You know, if one of our people that we work with here laid in a jail cell for 3 days with 3 dead bodies beside him. And they come here and they think that, my God, I got a job, I can do this and I can do that. And yet, he's not allowed to go to a bathroom and he has to pee his pants, you know, literally work in his own urine. Those are the kinds of things that as a union, we're going to be able to put a stop to. But the biggest issue here has been all about dignity and respect in the workplace. And, you know, I can't qualify enough, it's not a race issue.
Lakeside management declines to be interviewed about working conditions at the plant, but Tyson Foods sent a videotape response to allegations of worker mistreatment at Lakeside.
While no company is perfect, we can tell you we value our people. We work hard to make sure they're treated fairly. For example, we have a worker bill of rights, a code of conduct, and we operate by a set of core values that outline our commitment to treating each other with dignity and respect. While we work hard to prevent workplace injuries and illnesses, we also have a system in place to make sure our people receive proper medical care if they're hurt on the job.
A former soldier in the Sudanese army, Peter is a fierce supporter of worker rights and has become a prominent leader of the strike action.
We make millions a day for our blood. Don't worry, be stand, be united, and let us stay out until we sign the contract. You understand?
When I went to school in 2000, the government need 12,000 from me. The government say no more school for you, young man, unless you bring this money back. And then I say, okay, how do I pay this money back? And then I decide to come here, and I told my wife, be there, let me go to Brooks and work and pay the bill for the government. That is the purpose I come here to work.
The government issues you a loan for your transportation and kind of startup costs, and you come to Canada, and you have 3 years to pay that loan back. But they also have to send money home, because without the money going home, those people are going to even suffer more.
Ici, par exemple, c'est la photo de ma dernière fille, que je ne connais pas, que je n'ai pas encore vue, que je n'ai pas encore j'ai eu l'occasion d'embrasser. Hier, j'ai appelé mon épouse et essayé de parler au téléphone, et il m'a passé ma fillette qui disait « Bonjour, papa ». Et vous voyez un peu ce que ça fait, c'est pas facile. Il s'appelle Émeraude.
There is no money for a family here. It's good for single. When you are single, okay, you can save some money. But when you have children, it's not easy. The life is really hard. Sometimes they break the family economically. Not because you don't like your wife, you don't like your children, you don't like your husband, but conditionally sometimes. It forces a lot of family, they break off.
Here, count this too. I says only for white people. Tell it here, people, you're fucking nigger, go back to your country. What kind of fucking Canada is this? This is not my Canada. My Canada is peaceful.
The UFCW is vowing to strike until they get the union inside Lakeside Meat Packers. With bottom-line profits in mind, Lakeside management hopes support for the strike will fade away quickly. It doesn't take long for things to get ugly. First, UFCW's O'Halloran is charged with willful damage. And then tensions flare on the picket line after a bizarre high-speed car chase involving O'Halloran and 2 Lakeside managers.
There was a car in front, a car behind trying to force me off the road. Something hit me from the side, drove me into the ditch. And when I looked up, there was a car in front of me in the ditch, a truck behind me blocking me in the ditch. And they were videotaping me in the vehicle.
The resulting three-car collision leads to dangerous driving charges against Lakeside CEO and its manager of farm operations.
On Thursday last week, they tried to run over our president, union president. They tried to kill him.
Unions typically make sensational and misleading allegations against companies during labor disputes, and unfortunately, the strike was no exception.
Tyson better realize that these hard-working people are the ones that he needs in that plant to make his $1 million a day profit.
Last Wednesday, we started strike, right? And then the company hasn't worked since that time. Though they claim one time they killed 1,000 cows with 45 people. 45 people kill 1,000 cows. It's impossible.
We need money. We want to work. But the problem is why the management doesn't solve all those problems.
This is day 6. And $6 million later, where do you got? Tyson not running.
Needing to absorb the financial blow of the strike, Lakeside management attempts to skirt the strike action by bussing in replacement workers. The reinforcements bolster those workers who keep working for the money.
Shame on the scabs. Shame,
This is the bus for the replacement workers. Let's not call them scabs for now.
Who's on that bus? What do you call? Who's on that bus?
Everyone who steps on the buses makes a personal choice, including Saiva.
Je suis un pacifiste, un humanitaire par nature, mais aussi par ma formation. Durant mes études universitaires, j'ai été formé pour devenir un diplomate. Et en diplomatie, on nous a toujours appris que le dialogue, la négociation doivent être la règle, tandis que le recours à la force, l'exception. Tous ces éléments font de moi que je ne déteste pas la violence. Donc j'aime toujours les règlements pacifiques des conflits.
Right now, I come in war. Why I run from war to war? Some of my colleagues, they come to me and they say, look, Peter, you come here in Canada for a better life. You raise your children. They are free, no war, no hunger, they have clothes. Why you come and saying that what these companies did is wrong? Why? Why? Why?
Somebody was threatening me when I was going one night here. I was on night shift at strike, and he's like, oh, you the bitch of union. I told him I'm working for the future. Whatever you say to me, I don't care if you tell me the bitch or whatever you call me. My mom was so worried. I paid my cell phone for $650. Just incoming calls. She was calling me every 10, 15 minutes. And she was like kind of scared. Something might happen to me.
I believe, guys, we are going to defeat this company.
Striking workers insist that a better working environment be created at Lakeside. They believe having the UFCW represent them inside the plant will lead to a safer, healthier workplace. Work-related injuries are a key issue, not only for the strikers.
I was born and raised in South Africa. I came in and I did a job that there was a shortage, and Canadians have treated me very well. That's why I really believe in treating immigrant people very well. When I arrived in Brooks, I went to tour the plant, and the pace is fast. So it is definitely one of the more difficult jobs, and because of the repetitive nature of the work, repetitive strain injuries happen with a lot of people. And if that's not taken care of in time, these injuries can become permanent.
Last year, Peter, you get your shoulder injured, and you went and see the doctor. You know what happened? I say, no. He said, your supervisor, he was upset. And I say, why? Because he lose the bonus. The reason, I say, the reason you prevent people to go and see the doctor because you get the bonus? They say, yes. What kind of bonus you gonna get? They say that they will give you a green jacket. Yes, we call it Tyson here, green jacket. It's not an important jacket. I say this jacket, the green jacket, we have it now. You can go and buy it on a store upstairs in the equipment room. That's why you don't let people go to see the doctor? He say yes, because if you have 2, 3 people, they go light duty, they see the doctor, you never get a green jacket.
The hours, the stress, has its toll on families as well. So we see a certain amount of depression, a certain amount of mental health issues with patients. We see that some just don't last and they cannot do the job.
4 heures break, on va à break, on revient, on fait la même chose. Oui. Donc c'est un travail en chaîne. Oui. 4 heures break, on va à break, on revient, on fait la même chose. Oui. Donc c'est un travail en chaîne. Alors moi, dans le travail que je suis en train de faire, je suis chargé de trier les os et la graisse. Alors c'est lorsque la viande arrive en vrac, je suis là, je regarde, j'observe. Quand je vois un os, je le prends. Je le jette, puisqu'en bas, il y a un tapis roulant. Et lorsque la graisse aussi arrive, quand je sens qu'il y a de la graisse, je le pique, je prends et je jette. Donc c'est ça, en fait, le travail que je fais. C'est délicat, pourquoi? Parce que, d'abord, il est difficile de trouver de l'emploi. Et parfois, lorsqu'on en trouve, on n'est pas dans son domaine. C'est complexe aussi, puisque d'une part, il y a le Canada qui encourage l'immigration, mais d'autre part, il est obligé aussi de protéger son secteur d'emploi, notamment en exigeant que certaines, pour que certaines fonctions soient réservées aux citoyens canadiens. Et pour y accéder aussi, il faut avoir un diplôme canadien.
Actually, when I started working here in the Lakeside company, it was really hard for me. My first 6 months, it was really hard. I get sick. I was so frustrated. I was so, I was so disappointed by myself. I worked there because I need to work. I need some job, to pay myself stuff and to support my family back home. I finished medicine in Cuba. I finished my degree in year 2000, and I came to Canada. Yeah, I'm a medical doctor. So I hope one day, I could be who I am.
Some people, they have been treated bad. They are not happy at all. They don't know their right. They were intimidated by company. These people, it's easy to join the fight. Even I asking myself, why I become in this job? This is not a purpose for me to come here, But if I see somebody making something wrong, I have to correct it.
Amidst the shouts on both sides of the strike, money has begun to talk. The financial losses Lakeside is suffering finally jumpstarts tense negotiations between company management and the union bargaining committee. For 2 immigrant strikers, the pursuit of a better life in Canada was tragically cut short. They died in a car accident on their way home after a long shift on the picket line. The strikers are deeply shaken. Picketing is suspended for 24 hours.
We lose 2 people on the picket line, so really very, very tough for the workers. The morale is going down because, you know, to lose your friend is not easy. Of course, it's a bad day for us, but it does not change our objectives. We lose people every year. They quit 20, 30, 40. They coming here to work 2 months, 3 months, get injured, quit. 3 months, 6 months, get injured, fire. So a lot of people, they keep coming and going.
Surtout tout au début, on avait quand même ce sentiment de crainte, ce sentiment de peur contre l'imprévisible, puisque tout pouvait arriver. Mais Dieu merci, il y a eu plus de peur que de mal. J'ai vite rendu compte que les grévistes étaient très disciplinés.
Spirits are lifted by the arrival of a new supporter. A worker who has recently come all the way from Ontario to work at Lakeside chooses to leave the plant and join the strikers.
I didn't like some of the things that were going on in the plant and that. Because the plant is short-staffed, I think that I noticed there were some of the things that I was doing where I should have had another person with me. I shouldn't have been alone. In case of an accident, there was really nobody to run and go for help or not.
People take sides, and when they take sides, they become very devoted to that side, and that's what's happened here. Obviously, on the union side, there were people that felt that the union would improve working conditions for them, and on the other side, there were people that felt the union was a waste of time, was just a group that perhaps just took a extra pay deduction from their check.
But they've spent millions and millions of dollars trying to keep the union out because they don't want you. They don't want you to have your rights.
في حاجة مهم هنا ولا ما في؟ حاجة مهم هنا ممكن نناقش، لكن المهم أكثر يا حماية بتاعك، تشتغل سيفتي، تشتغل في اللاين بتاعك، عندك مشكلة وأنت الدكتور عيان تم الدكتور بتاعك ما تلاقي.
My supervisor told me, if you are educator man, you have degree and whatever, leave them on the back door and come inside. I asked him why. He said, we don't work here to say I'm educator man. No, just come to cut the meat. Don't give us nonsense. Work here.
Finally, there is a shift in the conflict. UFCW strikers and non-union workers have agreed to vote on a company offer that would see Lakeside Packers become a unionized workplace. The 24-day strike has boiled down to that single issue.
We're conducting a vote to get a union into Lakeside, as well as to give these people a chance at a contract in the plant.
The ballot is an accept or reject option. So you either check I accept the company's offer or check I reject the company's offer.
Even in the voting lineup, support for the union and the strikers is clearly divided.
Vote no.
We have our rights too, just as much as they do.
That's right.
That's right. We have our rights just as much as they do.
So we have a chance to get union in there and get our basic rights. So we have someone in there to defend us, someone in there to file a grievance on managers and the supervisor who were discriminating people. And it's all about respect and dignity.
I don't really care what they want. I want what I want. I want to just make my money, then get out of Lakeside, because that's what I'm there, just to make money, leave, and go do what I want. It's the only good money you can really make in this area for someone who doesn't really have any good talent like myself.
I just don't think the union's going to be counting our votes. I think I think it's just a big sham.
Oh, no, man, no, 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 no. No, no for good, no for good.
Make sure of that.
Does anybody got any questions or anything?
9.
So much difference between this and the one that we turned in last time?
The difference is that the short term is 4 days instead of 8 days. A little more money for maintenance, QCs, and janitorial, and there's going to be a union shop.
We seem to be getting a heavier turnout today, which is good. We're going to get a true result, a true expression of the employees' wishes tonight, and hopefully no more than a couple of hours.
Do you have any questions? Do you need a copy of the contract?
Here you go.
I think we have to put out our arms and embrace the people that cross the picket line, and I know you're not going to be happy with that because you were out there fighting for some of these benefits that they get. And but the thing is, you got to go back in there united. We got to reach out to them. Those of you that came in this morning that smell of smoke, you don't smell of smoke because you just got out of your bed. You smell of smoke because you're standing out there by that goddamn fire all night long. And those are the people that we have to applaud for the great job that you done.
Vote is negative in regards to a contract. Well, then we're back in the picket line tonight. We don't stop. So it's stressful.
After the counting of the vote, 685 no, 76 challenged, 12 spoiled, 863 yes.
By a margin of only 53%, the employees of Canada's largest meatpacking plant vote to allow the union inside the plant to represent workers on the job. Now, the difficult task of rebuilding relationships begins.
I'm really tired. Sometimes I slept 2 or 3 hours. It's enough. Telephone everywhere is coming. So my kids, they saw me sometime from media, from television, from newspaper, and say, "Hey, Dad, we saw you, and what are you doing there?" And I say, "Look, guys, what I'm doing is for you, too."
It should be a wonderful day for us because we have been fighting with company. They reject everything. They don't even accept anything. So fortunately, we will remember this day.
Thanks. Thanks, God. best thing can ever happen to me. That shows me I didn't fight for nothing.
Take her down. Go all over now.
Well, the lakeside is good, so I'm going back to school. Now I'm free.
This is something might happen to me.
There is no money for a family here.
We target the immigrants that don't know what you say. We did not have a lot of black people living here prior to, about 5 years, 6 years ago.
It's a bad day for us, but it does not change our objectives.